Kevin Keegan's men have been producing some exhilarating football this season, and much has been prompted by a player known as the Peter Pan of English football.
Thank you.
These are rewarding times for Peter Beardsley. Held in the highest regard by the Tyneside public, Peter has also this week been honoured by the Queen at Buckingham Palace, receiving the MBE. He's come a long way since he first made his mark during his first spell at Newcastle back in the early 1980s, partnering Kevin Keegan in United's attack and playing a crucial role in Newcastle's successful promotion campaign of 1984. Along the way, Beardsley has scored 99 league goals for the club and looks as fresh today as he did when he started his career. So, how has he managed to do it?
I don't know. I'm 35 next month, but I enjoy it so much, and I think that's a big secret. Obviously, people say certain things and sort of either knock you down or build you up, but the most important thing is that Kevin Keegan thinks I can keep going, and the longer he thinks that, the better.
Beardsley has spent time on Merseyside with both Liverpool and Everton, and has won most of the game's major domestic honours, including 2 titles and an FA Cup winners' medal. His England career has also been outstanding, Peter having won 57 caps and played in 2 World Cups and a European Championship finals. With Euro 96 approaching, does he feel he can finish his career with an England success?
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, that would be the icing on the cake, but we've got 3 trophies to go for at Newcastle. If we get one, we'll be delighted. And if we can end up with something in the summer for England, it'll be brilliant.
So, at the age of nearly 35, Peter Beardsley just seems to get better and better. But we'll leave it to his manager, Kevin Keegan, to have the last word.
Peter leads us. He's the inspiration. He'll be a workhorse. He's got no ego, and I think he's a great example to young players. And I often say to my apprentices and young lads that I'm signing on schoolboy forms, go and watch Peter Beardsley train. Don't train today. You might learn something. And if you watch him play, it's the same, isn't it?
So Peter Beardsley lines up as captain again today in a match that will be a pointer surely to the team's meeting in the FA Cup third round. Assessing the form for the moment, match commentator Martin Tyler.
It's a Chelsea debut at last for Terry Phelan, who's been injured since signing from Manchester City. Chelsea much changed in recent weeks with the arrival as well of Dan Petrescu from Sheffield Wednesday and the youthful presence of Michael Dewberry and Andy Myers. Ruud Gullit and Frank Sinclair are injured, Erland Johnson suspended. One significant inclusion today, Paul Furlong, whose power in the air is targeting the one defensive weakness which Newcastle have shown so far this season. Newcastle are unchanged despite a real scare in London last weekend in a 3-3 draw against Wimbledon. Individual honours this week with Peter Beardsley receiving the MBE from Her Majesty the Queen at Buckingham Palace and Rob Lee named as the Player of November by the league sponsors. But it's the collective honour of the championship they're all chasing. Newcastle haven't won that since 1927. Chelsea have been very much in the news over the past few weeks. The chairman, Ken Bates, has been at loggerheads with a fellow director, Matthew Harding. Financial matters have been at the root of the problem. It's been a very public dispute, but this week Harding's ban from the director's box has been lifted, and if not exactly peace breaking out, a truce has certainly been declared. And there is Matthew Harding. And this is very much a public display of togetherness. Roger Dilks is the referee. Well, with Chelsea, you just never know. They really can turn it on when the odds seem to be stacked against them. But they'll remember the disappointment of a very poor start and eventual heavy defeat by Manchester United here earlier this season. They won't want that sort of thing to happen again with a championship challenger at Stamford Bridge. Furlong. And there's Terry Phelan coming in, almost making an amazing impact. His first touch, Chelsea. An effort on goal. Furlong in the wide position. Useful cross. Newcastle have been struggling in the air. Conceded 9 of the 14 goals they've let in the Premiership to headers. And Phelan in there with an early header for Chelsea. Petrescu. Chelsea at the moment calling the tune. Petrescu. This is John Spencer with a side of goal, and it's smothered behind for a corner by Hislop. Well, they've been getting plenty of the ball and showing signs of opening up the league leaders. And they did almost to deadly effect there. Spencer sneaking in. Hislop keeping it out. Chelsea have a corner. Hislop pulls it down with the challenge coming in from Furlong, who's the closest Chelsea player to the Newcastle goalkeeper, who's hurt and is still on the ground. And this is how it happened. Club. There's differing emotions, it seems, about the stoppage here. Matthew Harding is very much with the fans and has had a lot of support. Ken Bates has done so much for the club. Peacock. Petrescu. Myers. Now Newton. And Ginola got to it. Hislop just prevents the corner. And it's been given as a back pass. Well, Hislop obviously felt that he was entitled to pick that up, but Ginola just put himself in the way of the ball. But Roger Dilks to the Chelsea appeals in the affirmative. An indirect free kick. Hughes! And a real chance for Chelsea to get the reward for the work they put in the opening 20 minutes. This opportunity coming from a mishap for Hislop. But Wise floated it. Hughes unmarked. And the header could well have been better. Myers. Wise. Now David Lee. Very much the shape of things we've seen so far. Newton. Chelsea the sharper of the two sides. Hughes. Petrescu. Hughes! Well, he forced the from his shot this time. It wasn't a difficult save. But again, Chelsea press. Again, Newcastle struggle. Again, it stays 0-0. Hughes. Phelan might yet get there. It wasn't the best of balls played by Newton. And through the pressure applied by Terry Phelan, Barton concedes a throw. Phelan wanted to restart the game quickly, but Chelsea weren't quite as nippy around him. Newton, clever play to get the better of Beardsley. Here's David Lee. That's a great ball in and met by Hughes' header. And Hislop keeps it out. And Chelsea again find a way through with David Lee very prominent, Mark Hughes very prominent. And on guard in goal was Hislop. It's a Chelsea corner. Hughes going to get it down. It was blocked by Ferdinand in the end. They're taking these balls in to where the goalkeeper is having plenty of problems. Ferdinand got his fine physique in the way of a blockbuster from Hughes, and it's another Chelsea corner. Oh, they all came in underneath that one. Phelan. Newton. That was Dubry getting his legs coltishly tangled up. And Gillespie. Myers has gone across. Ferdinand is in the centre. Foul by Myers on Keith Gillespie. And Chelsea at least have been bought some time by that. They'd really committed players up, understandably. They continue to carry the fight to Newcastle United. Now they've got to be concerned about keeping them out. Not a difficult task, as it turned out in that instant. Spencer. Wide. Petrescu dashing down the right. The pass just made him put the brakes on, but there was enough contact there to get a free kick in Chelsea's favour. Dennis Wise to take it. Up comes Dubry. In it comes, not very well from Wise. That's unusual from him. So we'll have another chance. It's another free kick, and again Ginola is the culprit. He's saying, well, you're doing the diving to Wise. And the referee now has decided to show a yellow card after all that for David Ginola. Rodley unnecessarily getting involved. Well, that looked a foul to me. And it was his second in quick succession. The booking for the Frenchman, a free kick for Chelsea. And a pumping header from Furlong. Unfortunately here, and for his side, it was within the reach of Hislop. And Chelsea close to exacting full punishment from the free kick. Another incident in keeping with the shape of the first half, in which Hislop has been injured and is now signalling to the bench that he may not be able to continue. Furlong sent tumbling by Howie. Is it going to be another Newcastle booking here? And the card is out for Steve Howie. Furlong really is playing well. And he gave Howie a problem here. He lured him in and then knew that he could just get a touch, hoping to get on himself after the ball, but Howie made that impossible. But before the free kick can be taken, Shaka Hislop is going to be replaced by Pavel Senicek. Hislop already making his way off behind the goal. So on comes Senicek, who of course was the first choice goalkeeper before Hislop was signed in the summer from Reading. It's quite a testing time to come on a very cold afternoon. Straight away in the firing line, Chelsea have a free kick. They've got their arch plotter, Dennis Wise, over the ball. Is beaten by Petrescu. No sooner has he arrived to substitute for his lot. And Newcastle are a goal down. And Srnicek wonders what he's done to deserve that. The goal has been coming. Just a question of whether Chelsea could find the right sort of touch in front of goal to reward their pressure. Well, they got a very calm finish here from Dan Petrescu past the goalkeeper who's hardly warmed up for the test. It wasn't the best free kick in truth initially from Wise. Ferdinand got to it but planted it straight at the feet of Petrescu, who had the presence of mind to plant it back into the Newcastle net. Kick, the dreadful one, and Beardsley trying to make something out of very little. The ball was so far to his left to actually wrap his foot round it and get it back on target. It'll take something magical, but we know he's got the conjuring capacities. Not that time. Still on 99 in terms of league goals for Newcastle United. But well, to win championships, there are times when you play beautifully, a lot of times when you play well. There are some times when you have to scrap out a result, and in trying to scrap here, Peter Beardsley is going to be booked. Not a totally rare event because he is a tackling player. For all his creative skills, he's never been frightened going to hunt for the ball, and inevitably some tackles will be mistimed. That one was, and it was the second in quick succession. Shaw going for the ball, but he didn't get it. And again, Wise caught. Wise, elusive as ever. Hughes and Furlong, and it's beaten them both. Which did a little disservice to Wise, whose approach play was excellent, but Hughes is capable of coming up with something spectacular like that. And Furlong was a foot away as it went beyond his colleague in the centre. Another free kick. And a chance to score here. And wipe some of the smiles from Chelsea faces. Beresford takes it. That's Ferdinand's challenge. Ferdinand again. Well, it's put wide by Peacock, and that, as close as Newcastle has come, referee just had to intervene as Ferdinand ended up in the net, but crucially for Chelsea, the ball didn't go in. Ferdinand won it against Dubry. It was looping. Curry couldn't get to it. Off the bar, Ferdinand must have thought this was his moment. Great recovery from the goalkeeper. Not a great shot on his left foot from Darren Peacock. Furlong and Peacock very much on each other's toes again. Ferdinand. Ginola. Beardsley first to it. Still with the energy to defy the years. Ginola. Well, that was Rob Lee arriving with the volley. Now Barton. He's gone on well here, Warren Barton. Ferdinand. Carring made the save look rather casual. The header was well directed, but just lacked the quota of power necessary to get it over the line and get Newcastle on level terms. But it's a better second half, considerably, for Kevin Keegan's men. Tell me for your thoughts. Nervous wringing of the hands by Kevin Keegan. Maybe a chance for Chelsea. There have been very few of them in the second half. Spencer's backed it wide. Well, Spencer certainly had a sight of goal and could have put the result beyond doubt. Foster again herring back to give Petrescu some protection. He doesn't need it. Another look at the watch from Roger Duck. Typical Chelsea. This famously inconsistent club, which has been in the news for the wrong reasons, the boardroom politics, but they've reserved their best for the best. Dan Petrescu scoring past the recently arrived Pavel Cernicek on as a substitute for Shaka Hislop 4 minutes before half-time. A Glenn Hoddle signing has settled it here and sent Newcastle United to only their second defeat of the season. Happiness about Stamford Bridge, except for the Toon Army, the travelling Geordie fans. Newcastle never really got going despite a more stirring display in the second half. Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 0.
Then there was a standing ovation from all parts of the stadium for Chelsea when they came off. Did you share the euphoria of the way the game, not just the result, but the way the game was played?
Well, I think so, yes. I think it's that's probably the best we've played this season. Certainly the first 45 minutes, was some great play, and we created a lot of good chances and may have come in more than the 1-0 up. But we felt they would come at us a little bit more second half, and, they did. But we had to deal with that and put a defensive head on, which the boys did extremely well in the end. But justifiably so. I think the boys played well enough today to earn the points, and that they deserve the ovation that they got.